This is VFL Weekly Wrap for round 16. There was a game at Docklands on Friday. Collingwood beat North Melbourne by 43 points, 17-16, 118 to 11-9, 75. This was before the AFL game. Now for Collingwood, Max Mahoney, 5 goals. For North, Bailey Scott, 41 touches. A body blow to North Melbourne. They had a lot riding on this game. Collingwood can't make finals. They get a good win. They've won 3 of the last 5 games. Game at North Hobart Oval saw an easy win for Tasmania. They beat Gold Coast by 50 points, 18-14, 122 to 10-12, 72. Tassie ran away for it in the last quarter. A 9-goal last quarter. For the Suns, Sam Closey, 37 possessions, 8 tackles. Jared Witts, 50 hitouts and 9 clearances. Bailey Bowe for Tassie, 24 possessions, 2 goals, 11 tackles, 8 clearances. The Suns are rooted to the bottom. They've lost their last 5. They've been rubbish. Now, an absolute belting here as well at Cardinia Park. Geelong belted up on Richmond by 82 points. 23-14, 152 to 11-4, 70. 16 goals to 4 in the second half. Geelong had 30 more inside 50s. Jesse Mellor kicked 6 goals. Jay Polkinghorn, 5 goals with 10 marks. James Warple, 33 possessions, 12 clearances and a goal. Grind Myers, 24 possessions, 3 goals, 10 tackles. For Richmond, Tyle Sonsi, 32 touches, 10 clearances. Richmond have lost 5 in a row. Their season gets from bad to worse. Geelong have won 10 in a row. They're still miles ahead of everyone else in the competition. A thriller, well, it was, at Blacktown. Sydney drew for Williamstown. Sydney 13-13-91, Williamstown 14-7-91. This is the first time in 3 years that these two teams have played each other. Willie smashed Sydney in possessions, hitouts and clearances. But this is amazing stuff. Williamstown only recorded 24 tackles. That's very low. What's that? 6 tackles a quarter? A tackle every 4 or 5 minutes? That's awful. Now, 16 Williamstown players had 1 tackle or less. Williamstown have been involved in 8 games decided by 3 goals or under. Williamstown's last 4 games for the season are all against standalone teams, so they're still not out of it. It's still a good point for them, a good draw for them, but Sydney, Williamstown actually had a chance to hit the front, but he missed his set shot. Sydney been in good form. Now, Essendon upset Brisbane at Ipswich by 30 points, 15-13, 103 to 10-13, 73. For Essendon, Liam McMahon, 6 goals. This is the very first time Essendon have beaten Brisbane in VFL. Amazingly, Essendon's interstate record this year is 3 wins out of 3. That keeps them in the finals hunt. Brisbane aren't playing finals, obviously. Bit of an upset here at Box Hill City Oval. Carlton knocked off Box Hill by 23 points, 12-12-84 to 9-7-61. Box Hill have played a lot of close games. This time their luck ran out. Carlton have won 2 in a row now. They're back in the finals race. Now get this, Box Hill last 4 games for the season are all at home at Box Hill City Oval. They've got a game next week as the away team there because they're playing Richmond. So actually their last 5 games for the season are there at Box Hill. Good draw. Now Port Melbourne, they defeated a plucky Sandringham by 11 points at North Port Oval, 7-14-56 to 6-9-45. Now, for Sandringham, the ruckman Daniel Pinter dominated, 50 hitouts, 12 tackles, 7 clearances. It was a very even spread for Port Melbourne. Not one place stood out. Port Melbourne lead Sandringham head-to-head, 111 to 59. They pulled off the double against Sandy this year. Now, Port Melbourne, they're the kings of the close ones. They just continue to win games. I didn't expect them to have a good year, but they're doing very well. They're playing well above their means, to be honest. They have won 6 games on 14 points or under. An upset at the Whitten Oval. Frankston beat Footscray by 13 points. 10-11-71 at 7-16-58. A 7-goal-to-1 last quarter for Frankston got them over the line. They were 25 points down at three-quarter time. And they somehow managed to find another gear and win that game. Adam Trelaw for the Bulldogs, 37 touches. Now, Frankston kicked the last 5 goals of the game in the last 11 minutes. This is the very first time that Frankston have beaten Footscray. Footscray had them head-to-head 10-0. It's now 10-1. They kind of made up for that shellacking they had in the qualifying final last year there, where they lost by 80 points. Excellent win for Frankston. That's killed Footscray big time. I went to 2 games. Before I get onto that, subscribe to this channel, Kirk Gench, 8878. Saturday, I went to Moorabbin Oval. I saw a thriller. Werribee knocked off St Kilda by a point. 10-6-66 to 9-11-65. Werribee 2-0 in the first quarter. Werribee 3-1 in the second. St Kilda dominated the third quarter, 5-5 to 1-1. And Werribee 4-2 in the last quarter. The major goal kickers for Werribee. Lachlan Charlson kicked 3. Cooper White and Tom Simpson 2 each. For St Kilda, Patrick Said kicked 4. Jonah Kempigley 2. The possessions, Jack Riding, 31 possessions, 6 clearances and a goal. His goal in the last quarter was massive. It was a fantastic goal from outside the 50. Don Brew, 24 possessions, 10 tackles. Ajahn Kwalmoon, 25 possessions, 11 clearances, 34 hitouts. Charlie Lazaro, 11 tackles, 6 clearances. For the Saints, Hunter Clark was good, 32 possessions, 9 marks. Patrick Said with his 4 goals laid, 9 tackles. The ruckman, Alex Dodson, 21 possessions, 43 hitouts, 6 clearances. Well, the 2 ruckmen, Ajang and Alex Dodson, it was a very good battle. Jack Carroll for the Saints, 24 possessions, 11 marks. Now, Werribee, they had 2 late changes. The leading goal kicker, Brady Wright, was a laid out. And also, Ivasic was a laid out for them. 2 players came in. Pearce came in. And another debutant, Nash King for Werribee. He took his place. 16th debutant for Werribee this year. Extraordinary. Now that wind was blowing towards the Pena Highway end. This was at least worth 4 goals. It was a cold day. The ground in excellent condition. The wind blowing to that side of the ground again. As you can see, Werribee had an excellent first quarter. They kept St Kilda goalless, and against the wind, they managed to kick 2. Structurally, Werribee were perfect. Second quarter, they didn't really make use of the wind, but they still won that quarter 3-2. But St Kilda absolutely dominated that third quarter, 5-5, and Werribee just could not stop them. They gave a few goals away from bad turnovers, but St Kilda missed a lot of shots there. And they were 2 goals up at three-quarter time, the Saints, but Werribee coming home to win, and Werribee left it very late. Now, Werribee had 13 more clearances. St Kilda had 28 more marks, 24 more tackles. St Kilda in front for 40 minutes, Werribee for 77. Now, later on in the game, Ellie Pearce had the chance to tie the game, but his shot missed. Then barely a minute later, a free kick was given to Tom Simpson, 20 metres out right in front. And he kicked the goal after the siren to win the game. St Kilda will be gutted. Another close loss. Werribee just find ways to win. And that was another one. But Werribee's first half was pretty good. They sort of lost their shape a bit in that second half. St Kilda looked like they had control. But I think Werribee deserved a win there. They applied themselves very well. St Kilda again a little bit disappointing. Now Werribee have won their last 7 games now. They've still got 3 home games left. St Kilda have lost 3 games by single digits. This is the first time these 2 teams have met in 26 years. First times Werribee beaten them as well. But that was a poor performance by St Kilda in that first half. It was a very cagey affair, high pressurised game. I've got to say, the crowd was horrible because, in their wisdom, they decided to play the AFL game at the exact same time, so there was nobody there. Well, that was an extraordinary finish. And I think the last time Werribee played at Moorabbin, they won with a kick after the siren 33 years ago in a preliminary final. And I was there as well. Amazing. Great win for Werribee. Disappointment for St Kilda. I don't think Saints will make the finals now. Now I went to another game. Coburg-Casey, Coburg City Oval. Coburg winning easily by 43 points. 20 goals, 8, 128 to 12, 13, 85. Coburg 4 goals to 3 in the first quarter. Casey 4 to 2 in the second. Coburg dominated the third quarter, 8 goals, 6 to 2-1. And the last quarter, 6-1 to 3-7. In the second half, Coburg kicked 14 goals, 7 to 5-8. Absolutely ran rings around Casey. Now for Coburg, Brommel, Johnson, Stevenson 3 each. Hugh Ellison, Murphy, Thompson, Valentine 2 each. And for Casey, Lucas Cook and Louis Dangelo, sorry, I got that wrong. Kentfield and Matthews kicked 2 each. The possessions, Louis Dangelo, 24 touches for Casey. Lucas Cook, 23. For Coburg, they had a lot of the ball. Cooper Keogh and the Ruckman, 35 possessions. 28 of them were handballs. 16 clearances, 37 hitouts. He just dominated. Joel Trudgeon and Jack Bidell, 29 touches. Hugo Brommel, I think, played his best game for the club. He had 29 possessions, 9 clearances, but he kicked 3 goals. Never hits the scoreboard. He was brilliant. Coburg had 462 possessions, 132 more, 24 more clearances. Casey had 36 more tackles. Coburg absolutely smashed Casey in the midfield. The wind was blowing towards the city end, probably worth 3 goals. Casey lead head-to-head 36 to 27. Coburg have won their last 6 games at Coburg City Oval. Casey have lost 3 in a row. Casey won't be playing finals. Coburg needed to win after last week's heartbreak. The ground was in good condition. Slightly disappointing crowd. I don't think Casey fans are going to drive nearly 2 hours to Coburg, to be honest. But Coburg, Casey looked all right in the first half. They were structured, they were organised, they were marking everything. But come the second half, Coburg completely dominated. They had way too much run for them, too many clearances. They just got their kamikaze handball style going. Casey just couldn't cope. They went in a bit too big there, Casey. That was just a shit performance from Casey Demons in that second half. Great win for Coburg. They're back in it now. Now the ladder, Geelong 13-1. They're 2.5 games clear of second spot. Werribee on 10.5 wins. And they're 1.5 games clear of the next teams. GWS, Box Hill, Port Melbourne on 9 wins. Sydney, Tasmania 8.5. Coburg, Frankston 8. Williamstown snuck in there on 7.5. Just outside it, Carlton Essendon 7. North Melbourne, St Kilda 6.5. The Sharks, Southport 6. Well, these teams won't make it. Footscray, Collingwood, Casey, all 5 wins. Forget the rest. They're rubbish. They can't make it. Now there's only 2 wins separating 10 teams from 3rd to 12th. Fascinating ladder. Now, in round 17, the next round, 10 games, 2 teams have the bye. Collingwood, Carlton. There's a game Friday. Sydney play Brisbane. It's an important one for Sydney. Amazingly, there's only 3 games on Saturday, but 6 on Sunday. How's that for dumb fixturing? Saturday, Sandringham against Southport. St Kilda play Geelong. I was thinking about going there, but I changed my mind. I might hit Williamstown, Tasmania at Point Gellibrand. That's a 12:30 kickoff. Should be a good game. There's 6 games on Sunday. I'm going to double header this. Essendon Coburg at Windy Hill at 10 a.m. Werribee Port Melbourne at 2 p.m. at Chirnside Park. Plus past players game there. Going to be a massive crowd there. Big stakes game. So I'll hit them both. Other games, Gold Coast play Footscray. North Melbourne play Casey. Frankston GWS will be an interesting game. Richmond play Box Hill again at Box Hill City Oval. They've already met once there this year. Mate, it was an incredible round of football. Few interesting results. Should be good next week. See you then.